So in November of 2023, I created Project Reset, and it got a lot of love. And while I knew that Project Reset was awesome and it was great and it was worth every penny, I knew that someday I'd be making updates to it. Now, when that was gonna happen, I had no idea. For the last couple months, I've been saying I'm gonna do it, and I finally did it. And here we are. Project Reset 2.0 is officially live, and you can go ahead and get it down in the description below. Now hold up, wait a minute. If you already bought it, you can go ahead and get a free update. You should have an email from me, Eric at erichunsaker.com, with that free update. And the same goes with this version. If you go ahead and buy this version, you're gonna get free updates for the rest of time. So without further ado, let's dive into Project Reset 2.0, show you what's new, what's changed, and why you should go get it today. So, for those of you that don't know, Project Reset is the ultimate health and fitness Notion template. You can use it for yourself, your clients, whatever you want. Hint, hint, little secret coming up. There's going to be a coach version coming up soon. So, stay tuned for that. So, diving right into Project Reset 2.0. I've got a demo account loaded up here. And as you can see, it's gorgeous. This is the new dashboard. Now, before, things looked quite different. It was honestly a whole different mindset behind how it worked. It had this whole weeks, days, habit sort of system, and I didn't love it, to be honest. It made sense at the time, but we scrapped that, and trust me, this is way better. Taking a look at the dashboard here, don't worry, we're gonna go through every single nook and cranny, so sit back, relax, pour yourself a coffee, some sort of beverage, get comfy, because we're diving in. Taking a look at the dashboard here, this truly feels more like a dashboard and what I envisioned the first round of it being. So, we have today right here. So we can see our workout of the day. We can see our habits for the day and the progress that we're making on it. And we can go ahead and check things off and see a fun little progress bar down below. We also have our calories and macros. So the calorie and macro calculator has been reimagined from the original Project Reset. I had released a free calorie and macro calculator recently, and I took that and I made it even better, which we'll be sure to get into. And then we also have the meal plan over here on the right. So, you open up Project Reset, you're looking at what you have to do today. You have your workouts, you have your habits, your calories and macros, and you have a meal plan set aside as well. You scroll down a little bit and we're looking at this week. Now, one thing that I did with Project Reset is, I took the feedback that I got from the first version. I, pondered on it for over a year, and Notion also came out with some really cool features. So as before, I was using a third-party plugin to get the charts and stuff. Now Notion has that built in. Now, don't quote me on this. I believe if you're on a free plan, you can only create one chart. And if you have a paid plan, you can create unlimited charts. There's a lot of charts in here. I have a paid plan. So if you want that feature, you're gonna have to get a paid plan, but I think that's how it works, not totally sure. But anyways, we scroll down a little bit and we go from today to this week. And right off the bat, we have a little dashboard here. We have our body weight shown as a graph with some sample data in here. And then we have calories in here as well. Now, this is a brand new part of Project Reset. What this is using palm portion calorie control, and it's estimating calories based on that. So it's not going to be a perfect science, but it's honestly going to be better than not doing anything. And, these two together, you can kind of compare. Is my weight going up? Cool. Maybe I need to, scale it back on what I'm eating or whatever, but you have your body weight and your calories for this week specifically. So as you can see, it has, March 10th through March 13th. The time of recording, this is March 13th, 2025. And so this is dynamic. It's filtered to be this date. So next week rolls around, it's going to get refreshed. Now, the same thing happens, for all this. This is all filtered for today up here, and this is all filtered for this week down here. So here we just have a week view at our workouts. You can see that there were some workouts earlier in the week. We've got a workout today, which is why we have this workout up here. If I was to move today's workout to tomorrow on Friday, we can go ahead and see that that workout's gone. It's dynamic, it's cool, it all works together, and you're gonna love it. So we scroll back down here to the bottom and we have this habits analytics. So there's sort of two factors to the habits. We'll get there in a little bit, but essentially there is the habits here where you can go ahead and track your daily habits. And then there's a separate database that is used to capture all the analytics. So you can go ahead and see how well you've been doing on your habits for this week, as well as the total progress on all of them. So for reading, I was at 45.5% of the week so far. Hobby, I'm at 18.18, 10K steps, 36.36, so on and so forth. So this is the dashboard. I am super hyped on it. I think it looks gorgeous, especially compared to version 1. And I think it's insanely functional. So that is the first section here. All right, moving on to the training plan. So to be honest, Project Reset, this is where, the first version, I really felt like it was lacking. I've been a personal trainer and an online coach for years now. I've used just about every software out there. Trainerize, True Coach, PT Distinction, all these other ones. And so I'm used to a certain type of workout builder and I expect certain things, and I want to be able to have myself and my clients be able to track specific reps and weights. And the way that I had it before in Project Reset, the original one, in fact, let's just bring it up. So the original training plan in Project Reset, if we go ahead and look here, you could the way it worked out is that you would just put your set number here, your set number there, and it worked okay, but it felt more like a glorified spreadsheet without the benefit of a spreadsheet. And so I really wanted to improve on that and make the training section just way better. So I did. And here it is. So how you can think about the training section, we've got our training programs at the top. What that does is that groups workouts into specific training programs. So for example, as you can see, we've got a push-pull legs plus full body. We've got a push-pull legs. We've got a body part split. And inside of those is specific workouts that you'll see on your calendar and stuff like that. So we've got training programs at the top level, which is a more organizational than anything. And then we have workouts, which is where we schedule out our specific workouts. So that's where you put your certain dates. That's where you put your certain exercises and reps and stuff like that. And it's also linked to exercises. So we've got training programs, workouts, and then exercises and training log. So those are the 4 databases that sort of bring the whole training plan together. So as you can see, the first section here of the training plan is the training programs. So I've got just a couple different views of the training plan. So we've got a list over here, we've got a timeline over here, and then we've got a board down here separating things by days of the week. Now you could create different sorts of select properties to go ahead and, break this up however you'd like. This is what made sense for me. So yeah, this is just a great way to visualize, your training program. Now we come down here and we're going to see this other training. Now, if we go ahead and scroll down, we're going to see a similar view to what we saw on the dashboard. This is just the week view of the workouts. You can go ahead and scroll to month view, if you need to schedule and move things out. There's a table view here, so you can go ahead and see all the workouts in a table view, a timeline view, which might be good for scheduling as well as a gallery view, which I don't really use. So I kind of keep it over here. And then down below that here, we have the exercise library. Now let's go ahead, let's move this pull day workout back to today where it's supposed to be scheduled and take a look at how this works. So we'll go ahead and click on this workout and open it up. Now, as you can see, we have our workout laid out for us right here. We have some, instructions here for, how to warm up and cool down, right? So you can go ahead and follow that and go ahead and change that whatever you want, but there's some good stuff on there for warm-ups and cool downs if you're not sure what to do. Now here we've scheduled a pull day, so we've got all pulling exercises. Now, what I can go ahead and do is you're going to work out, you click on your pull day, you go to your first exercise and you just click on the exercise itself. We can see we've got exercise A and then RXA for prescription A. That's what you want. So you could put, 4 sets of 8. You could add whatever you want here. Rest 60 seconds, whatever. This is just notes on what you are supposed to be doing. I just kept it simple for this example with sets and reps. Now, I put up to H. I don't know. What is that? 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 slots of exercises. If you're doing more than 8 exercises in a workout, you should probably maybe reconsider your training program. But I have them hidden so you only see what's actually scheduled out. So you're in here, you're coming to work out, you go ahead and you click on pull-ups. Now what this is going to do is this is going to pull up the no pun intended. This is going to pull up the training log. So I've got my exercise. I know I'm supposed to do pull-ups for 4 sets of 8 reps. And over here, I've got everything. I've got a link to a video on how to do pull-ups. I know this is a back exercise because it tells me right there. And I know it falls under the fundamental movement pattern of a vertical pull exercise, which is cool. Then down below here, this is taking advantage of a newer feature in Notion, which is, they call it, it's like using the customized layout of a database page, and it's using the tabbed, whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it, but I know it's really cool. So there's a couple different views here. So you have a table here. So I can see that on March 6th, that on my first set, I did 10 reps and I didn't do any weight. So that's pretty cool. Now you can also click on the graph here. And then as you do more exercises, this will grow. Let's see if there's some more data here under seated cable row. So let's actually go back because I have a better workout for that. So we're back in the training plan. I'm gonna actually select this push day because I know that there's some data on the barbell bench press. So we click on barbell bench press and we come in here, and now taking advantage of these new graphs and stuff, you're just getting a much better experience, a much better visualization of your progress. So again, let's say it was March 11th. You're coming in for your push day, you click on barbell bench press, and then you come in here and you click new. And what you're gonna call this page is set, which is why I gave the icon set. So this will be set 1. Barbell bench press, I did, over here I was supposed to do 8 reps, so I did 8 reps because I'm a good boy and I listened to my coach. And I did it for 225 because I'm a beast, and then I can see that that's 1,800 pounds of volume. Now I go back, and then I can go ahead and see this new data point here. Why that's not connecting, I'm not sure. So now we've got that shown correctly here. So as you can see, here is that entry from today. Now you can also go ahead and come over here to table view. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of data here. And this is really helpful for, progressive overload, right? You're supposed to hit barbell bench press today, and you want to know what you did last time. So you can come in, again, let's say you just open this up. You open up barbell bench press, and then you can go ahead and see that, okay, today is March, 13th or whatever. The last time I did this, I got, this should have some reps in it. Maybe last time I only did 8 reps at 205. So this time I want to try and beat that, whether that's reps or weight or whatever. And so this way, it's so much better than the last version, and it allows you to make better decisions when you're in the gym. And it also will allow you to visualize your progress, which can be super helpful and rewarding. So that is the training plan area. Moving on to the next section here. So we're gonna take a look at PR tracking, since this sort of piggybacks off of the training plan. Again, this is taking advantage of Notion's new graph features. So this is where you can go ahead and keep track of any specific exercises or PRs that you want to. So for example here, I went ahead and just put the big 3 up top. You got squat, bench, and deadlift. So if, let's say maybe you wanted to change this though, you could come in here, click on filter, and you would choose the exercise, and then you can just choose whichever exercise it is that you want to keep an eye on. I just put these up here because, big 3, squat, bench, dead. Thought it would be cool and sick. Yeah, that's that. And then you scroll down here, and then there's also a total volume chart, which can be super helpful, just to sort of see how you're progressing, see how you're, going throughout your training program. Maybe you're feeling really worn down, and you come in and you look in here and you've been doing way more volume than you were previously. And so maybe it's time to dial it back a little bit. And, as they say, what gets measured gets managed. As I say, what gets measured gets managed. And so you can just go ahead and manage yourself a lot better by measuring with Project Reset 2.0. So that is the training plan and the PR tracking. Again, if you did want to come and switch here, you just come in here and switch the filter to a different exercise. Super easy. And then you want to rename this and this as well. But yeah, I think it's super cool. Again, one thing I just want to re-emphasize, we come back here to the training plan. It is time to work out. You click on today's workout. You click on the exercise itself to go ahead and track data. And from any of these, whether it's a table or the graph, or you click on content, it should have this as well. You can either, you should just be able to click new set, and then boom, it's going to go ahead and create the created time as today. So it'll already automate and track all that. Then you just hit reps and wait, and you're good to go. Now, the thing that you want to name this new page is the set. So this would be set 1. I did 8 reps. We go back, pull up, do another set. That would be set 2, etc. So just want to reemphasize that real quick so you know how to use this and you can get the most out of it. Now, moving on to the next newest feature inside of Project Reset 2.0 is the Palm Portion calorie tracking section. So we'll go ahead and click on Palm Portion, and that'll bring us to this page here. Now, right here, if you're unfamiliar with palm portioning, essentially it's just a handy dandy way to use your palm to go ahead and estimate some caloric intake. So there's a whole educational area right here. So if you're unfamiliar with it, you can dive deep on it. But again, basically, a protein serving is 1 palm, a vegetable serving is 1 fist, a carb serving is 1 cupped hand, and a fat serving is 1 thumb sized. So you can go ahead and read this if you're unfamiliar with it. There's some general recommendations for active men and women. And then there's some additional PDFs down here that you can go ahead and browse if you feel so inclined. But you can also hide it away here with these little toggles so you can keep it nice and tidy. Now, how you'll probably primarily use this and how I sort of intended it to be used is just through this navigation bar, which is on every single page inside of Project Reset, and that's these buttons over here. You can track your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack, which you'll notice is also down here. So these are buttons which just automate the tracking process a little bit easier. For example, we'll go ahead and click on Track Breakfast, and then it's going to go ahead and put breakfast and today's date as the title. It'll also give the date and time of right now. It'll also change the meal to breakfast. Now let's go ahead and we'll change this to track lunch, and we see it changes it to lunch. It changes that meal as well, so on and so forth. Now, where this gets really cool is, again, there's some, recommendations based on active men and women and how much that they should have. But I wanted to make this just as easy as possible because tracking calories is a pain in the butt. And I wanted a way to make this just like super easy, just to get you like some sort of sense of how much you're eating so you can reach your wildest fitness dreams. So I created these 2 buttons here. So if you click on 1 serving, it's going to fill out 1 palm portion of protein, 1 fist portion of veggies, 1 cupped hand of carbs, 1 thumb of fats. And then down here, it's going to calculate those calories this is all based on Precision Nutrition's palm portioning. And so it go ahead and estimates that. Now, if you're maybe a larger individual or hungry or whatever, you can go ahead and click on 2 servings, and then it's going to change all those to 2 and change the calories as well. So that can be super powerful. Now, what you can also do here as well, if you could do this like either or, like you could do this in addition to tracking, the palm portioning stuff. You could also add a photo. Now, where this gets really powerful is, obviously you can do all this on your phone, but I created this gallery view here, which you could, even move to your dashboard on the homepage as well. And so then here you could not only see, it's also sorted by date. So you could see, by date, and then see it's filtered so that the gallery will show pictures of your meals, which is really cool. And then it also shows the calories here as well. So this is the new palm portion section. I'm really hyped on this. I think it's really cool. Again, this page is, mostly for the educational stuff and for the databases to live. But again, how I envision you using it is through the navigation bar under these different buttons right here. So that's the palm portion section. It's freaking sick. All right, moving right along. So next up, we're gonna go and check out the habits section. So this area here, so again, Project Reset 1.0 had a hierarchy of weeks, days, habits, and built into it like that. And let me tell you this. I'm just gonna get real close up on you here. I have yet to find the best way to track habits in Notion. This is damn near close to it, but similar to the first version, how I wasn't fully in love with the training and I didn't feel like I have it figured out like I do now, and I love it, and the training's amazing. There will be an update coming to this soon, and again, if you buy this, you're gonna get that free update as well, so you might as well get it now while it's on sale. But this is the best I could give you right now. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. So this is the habits page here. Again, we saw a little snippet of it there on the dashboard. And like I mentioned before, there's sort of two databases at play here. There's the actual habits and stuff where you can track it off, which is this here. And then we have analytics, where it's using some formulas and having some pretty graphs to go ahead and set this up. Now, the beauty of this is you can easily check off your habits for the day. These are also set up to repeat every single day. So on your home dashboard, there will be a new habit card there every single day when you download it, which is nice and handy. You don't even have to think about it. It's there and it'll reset. So that's great. Now, here on this page, we also just have this month's habits. So we can see how consistent we've been with the habits we've laid out for ourselves, which is really good for sticking with them. We can also change to this week. And then there's also a full month calendar here. So if, maybe you forgot to check off the other day, you can go ahead and check on those. Now, if you're looking at these and saying, why does all of these say Monday? That's because I made them all on Monday, and so it says Monday. I made this one actually on Monday. This one was automated on Tuesday. This one was automated yesterday. This one was automated today. So it'll say your date going forward and as things change. What we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to let you peek behind the curtain here, because maybe your habits aren't meditating, 10K steps, 3 liters of water, a hobby being golf, because I'm absolutely freaking obsessed right now, and reading. So maybe you wanted to change these. And this is where I have yet to figure out a way to easily change all of this stuff. So I'm going to give you a little peek behind the curtain here, even though you could totally do this on your own. But if you come to databases here, this is where every single database for Project Reset 2.0 lives. And under habits, we have this right here. So we'll go ahead and come to habits right here. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and change a habit, this is where you'd do it. You'd come in here and you'd change this title from meditate to whatever you want, and you'd change that icon. You'd come in here and change 3 liters of water to whatever you want. And then, I don't really have these buttons active right now, but if you wanted to, you'd have to change all those buttons as well. But that's less of the issue here. Now, the other problem too is the daily score. So this is using a formula, and it's essentially converting a checkbox into a 0 or a 1, whether it's checked or not, and then it's dividing by 5. So maybe you only have 3 habits that you want to track. Well, you'd have to come into the formula here, and you'd have to take out, 2 of the habits, change them to what you want, and then divide by 3. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but ideally this is something that you only set up once. Now, it doesn't stop there. So if we come to the habit analytics, this is where things get a little scary. And if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out to Eric at erichunsker.com. I'll be happy to help you out. So we have these labels here, right? And this is what, if we come back, this is how we make this all pretty, right? The meditate there, the 3 liters water, the 10K steps, that's just text. That's just a text property. As you can see, we have the hobby label, the 3 liter water label, the read label. So again, you'd have to go in and change all these to fit your own habits. Now, it's one of those things where it's not ideal, but it's one of those things you set it up once and you're good to go. So that's the habits. Other than those 2 little things, which again, I'm noodling on ways to make this easier and better so you can kind of just drag and drop and put the habits in a little bit easier than that. But for now, this is what you get. And if you don't want to use it, you don't fucking have to, okay? But yeah, that's the habits section. I think it's sick. and you probably will too. The next thing we're gonna get into, before we get into biometric tracking, which is pretty cool, we're gonna step into the planning and forecasting section. And this also includes a brand new section as well, starting with the weight loss forecast. So this was something that I actually made. Whoops, I didn't mean to delete that. We'll go ahead and delete all these. I'll show you how to work it. This was something that I just kind of made. I was like, it'd be cool to create something where you can kind of plan out how long it's going to take you to lose a certain amount of weight. And so I built it. And then it just sat there forever, and I was going to, give it away to my email list, or whatever. And I just never really did anything to it. And then as I was making these updates, I was like, this is the perfect place for it. So before we get right into the weight loss forecast, this is just where you can come in and plan your whole journey. You've got the weight loss forecast, you've got the nutrition area with the calorie and macro calculator, so you can kind of plan out your whole journey, and then the training plans below it. And it kind of goes in the right order, right? Because you got to start with kind of like the goal where you want to end up with your weight loss. And maybe you don't want to lose weight, maybe you want to gain weight, so you can scrap that. But if you're focusing on fat loss, then you kind of want to set up those goals, then set up your nutrition, and then set up your training. So that's the reason I did it that way. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to table view, and we're going to go ahead and show you how this works. So these are all the properties for this database. We got the name, we got the start date, current weight, goal weight, rate of weight loss, the weekly loss of pounds, the total weeks it's going to take, and then it's going to be the end date. Now you can see these three are formulas. So let's go ahead and just create a new page. We'll call this test because I'm not very creative. And we'll go ahead and click on start date. We'll click today. We'll put current weight 220. We'll goal weight, let's say 215. Now let's go crazy, let's go 210. And then the rate of weight loss. So here's what I recommend you do. You come in here and you select one of these options. Now, 0.5% to 1% loss of body weight per week is a healthy, reasonable amount of weight to lose. And I entered in some other options here. But here's what I suggest you do. You come in here and you select any one, doesn't really matter. Then you're gonna press escape, and then what that's gonna do is that's gonna select the whole thing. You press Command D, Command D, Command D, and now you have 4 different options. And then you change the rate of weight loss to each of these different options. And then what's really cool, so again, here it's gonna tell you, I'm at 220, I wanna get to 210, and I plan to lose at 1% per week. So that's 2.2 pounds per week, and it's gonna take me a total of 4.5 weeks. For the 0.75% weight loss of my body per week, that's gonna be 1.65 pounds per week, or it's gonna take me 6 weeks. And then the beauty of this is if you come over here to the timeline, you can visually see how long it should take. Now, maybe you're feeling super ambitious and you're gonna go for 1%, and that's in, what is that? 4.5 weeks there. Well, maybe you'll get there, maybe you won't. But even at the slowest of a 0.25%, you can kind of be like, okay, if these are my goals and I'm being realistic and I'm actually buckling down, I can expect to, end up somewhere in this time frame. So that's the weight loss forecast. I think it's freaking sick. Let me know what you think. Ooh, one thing I just thought of that I want to talk about because I can, and this is my video. The workouts. If you don't have Notion Calendar, you should get it. It's sweet. I like it a lot. I actually use 3 different calendars for different purposes, but they all show the same stuff mostly. But what you can do is you can go ahead and open the training thing in your calendar so that you have your workouts boom right in your calendar, and then you can open it in Notion and track it, and it's sick. And also, Notion is coming out with offline mode supposedly sometime in 2025, which is sick because sometimes gyms have shitty service or no service, and that's just no good, and you can't track your workouts and all your hard gains. But Project Reset 2.0 with offline mode coming soon this year, you can, so go ahead and get it while it's on sale. All right, back to business. Back to the planning and forecasting section. So come down here, we've got the calorie and macro calculator. Now, might as well get into that right now. No, I'm gonna tease it a little bit because I wanna show all the new stuff, and then we'll go into the old stuff that's been updated. So the next new stuff. Now again, previously, Project Reset 1.0, again, weeks, days, habits. In the days database, that's where you can track your weight, heart rate variability, blood pressure. I'm big on that stuff. You might not be. Cool, don't use it, delete it. But again, I just hated that system. And so I changed everything, and I took advantage of Notion's new form tracking feature. So again, how I expect you to add your biometrics is similar to the palm portion thing. I created a button up here for you to add biometrics. And when you click this button, it's going to open up a form called biometrics, and then you fill all this stuff out. So the only required field in here is today's date. So you can add as much or as little information as you want. As you can see, there's a lot. We've got, body weight, heart rate variability, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, chest measurement, right arm, left arm, 2 inches above your belly button, 2 inches below your belly button, right thigh, left thigh, a front progress picture, and a side progress picture. So obviously you're not gonna do that stuff every day, but you wanna come in and maybe track your weight every day, or your weight and your heart rate variability. Maybe you get that from your watch or something. And then weekly, maybe you come in here and do everything once a week, all the measurements and the progress pictures and stuff. So I left everything unrequired besides today's date, so you can filter everything, and it's just some good flexibility there. So after you've been tracking stuff for a while, you can come here to the biometric tracking page that we're on now and look at all these beautiful graphs and just see your progress. Now, I put in a bunch of dummy data here just so you can see it in action, but let's go through it one by one. First things first, up here we have the progress pictures. We've got the front on the left, and we've got the side on the right. And these are filtered by date from most recent to least. So you'll have your newest pictures first and then your oldest ones below that. And this will just get filled out as time goes on. And it also shows the weight for that date. And I just want to make it clear that this is dummy data. I do not weigh 245 or 235. Not that there's a problem with that. And even if I was, I'm 6'4", so I could probably weigh it. 220 of pure muscle. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Moving on to the biometric section. So essentially, right here, you've got all of these charts. They're all down here too, but maybe you want to look at it on the big screen, right? So you can go from body weight to heart rate variability, to all this other stuff. And then down here, I grouped things together. So over here is sort of the heart stuff. So heart rate variability. And then we've got systolic and diastolic blood pressure. And then down here is all the circumference measurements. And it just made the perfect, 4x4 and 2 and 2. And it really just fucking came together and just popped. So I'm hyped on that. And you should be too. All right. So that is the biometric tracking. Now, let's go ahead and dive into some updates, starting with the calorie calculator. So that's kind of all the new stuff, all the fun, exciting, cool new stuff that has just been, I've been fired up, if you can't tell. I've been fired up for the last couple of days, been super excited to make this video, and I'm happy you're here. I know this is probably getting pretty long, but that's okay. And I thank you for it. You're the best. So let's go ahead and dive into the calorie and macro calculator. Now, I want to just show you the calorie. This is project 1.0. Don't worry. The other one's way better. But I want to just show you the calorie calculator. So come here, this was just insane. It was like using the Navy body fat scale to do like a neck measurement and estimate body fat. And then once you got that, you had to come down here and fiddle around to get your macro. We don't got time for that. Nobody wants to do that. And so I made a better calorie calculator that you can get for free. Actually, you can get the calorie macro calculator for free by itself, as well as the meal planning template, which we'll go into after this. And this is the calorie calculator that you get with that. But I've made some changes since that. So maybe you're watching this, maybe you picked that stuff up, and there's some updates to it. So let's go over that. So here's a calorie and macro calculator in two different views. This is a gallery view, and this is a timeline view. Again, I like this for planning and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and just create a new calorie calculator, a new event, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll just call this maintenance. I never spell that right. It always takes a couple tries for me. And first thing, you're going to select your phase. Now, this does nothing other than just organization. So we'll just select maintenance. Start date is today. End date is, maybe we'll do this for, 6 weeks. But I don't know how long 6 weeks is. Luckily, there's a little calculator thing right here. So that's only 4 weeks. I gotta go 2 more. Is that 6? Oh, gotta go. What is that? Okay. Well, all right. We got 6 weeks. There we go. And then you select your unit system. This is the only thing in Project Reset that has a unit system. I should probably add that elsewhere, but I'll get to it. There'll be a 2.1 coming out before you know it. I'm gonna go ahead and select Imperial because I'm in the US of A. Select your gender, your activity level. Now here, if you're not quite sure, choose the lower one, so that way you're not overestimating how much you burn and then you're eating too many calories. Go ahead and kick it down a notch, Honestly, I sit at this desk a shitload, so I'm going to put lightly active, age 30 as of yesterday. And since that came up, I'm going to go ahead and just spill the beans right now. Project Reset is $99, but I turned 30 yesterday, and in honor of my 30th birthday, I'm knocking $30 right off the top for you through the end of the month. So until March 31st at midnight, you can go ahead and get Project Reset for the low price of $69. So do it. Now, moving right along, let's go ahead and plug in weight, 220, not 235 or 245. Height, you put this in inches, right? So I am 76 inches. That's 6'4". Yeah. What? Whoa. And then boom, there you go. This is going to just calories needed. This is your maintenance calories. So, I mean, I guess if you just wanted to get a maintenance calorie number, you could leave it here, but to get the macros and everything else, you're going to want to fill the rest out. So you come here to goal adjustment. And this is where, if you were in a surplus, you'd choose one of these positive numbers. If you were going for a deficit, you'd choose one of these negative numbers. We're going for maintenance, so we're going to go for a big old 0. And then here in protein level, you can choose low, medium, normal, or high. I kind of forget how I think normal is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. High is 1.15. Medium is 0.85 grams per pound of body weight. And then low is 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Since we're at maintenance, we'll go ahead and select normal. So as you can see, weight's 220, protein 220. And then you can choose carbs or fats. And at the end of the day, this doesn't really matter, but if you want to get into the nitty gritty, you can. So fat loss being the goal, or even if you're trying to bulk up, if you're just, the average person, if you're not trying to get stage lean shredded where you got veins on your veins and stuff, the only thing that matters is calories and protein. Doesn't really matter where your carbs and fats come from. But what this does is if you choose fats, it's going to take your calories based on your goal. It's going to subtract the protein calories, and then it's going to allot 60% of the remaining calories to fats and 40% of the remaining calories to carbs. And it's going to do just the opposite if you choose carbs. So it'll be 60% of the remaining calories to carbs, 40% to fats. Now, this is a walkthrough of Project Reset, not a lesson in nutrition, but I like carbs, and carbs are more voluminous. Fats are more calorically dense. So if you're trying to lose fat or something and you want to eat more, then you might be better off with some carbs. And boom, by filling all that out, we go ahead and get our macros, right? So we need 220 grams of protein, 295 grams of carbs, 85 grams of fat for 2,830 calories. Now, what you can go ahead and do as well is you can go ahead and select, this is new and this is cool. So
pay attention.
Now, if you come here to number of meals, you can go ahead and select this, and the default meal count is set to 3. So if you don't fill out anything, down here it's going to tell you how much protein, carbs, and fats and calories you need per meal. And if you don't fill out anything, it's just going to auto set it to 3. But if you come down here to number of meals, you can go ahead and select. So maybe you're an intermittent faster. You don't do breakfast. You said, you know what, you can keep your sausage egg McMuffin. I only do lunch and dinner. Give me, 2 Big Macs or whatever. Maybe select 2 meals. So then, you need, these are the protein, the carbs, fats, and calories for 2 meals. So you just do that twice and you get your numbers up here. You come down here, maybe you're a bodybuilder, you're a Ronnie Coleman guy, you want to eat every freaking hour or something like that to spark that metabolic fire, which is fucking bullshit, but nonetheless, that's your belief system. Who am I to judge? So you select 6 meals, and then you can see that those numbers get a lot smaller, but you just got to remember you got to eat that 6 times. So that is the new calorie calculator inside of Project Reset 2.0. This down here is this new feature that I'm super stoked on. When this came together, I was like, fuck yeah, this is sick. And yeah, so I'm hyped on that. Let's go ahead and come back here. I think, is this the last thing we're gonna go over? I think it is. We got the meal planning section. So again, this is something else that you can go ahead and pick up a faux frizzle. Link will be down in the description for Project Reset and all the free stuff. You can get it at airconsecure.com. That's where everything's at. But here's the meal plan. This is also something very cool that I'm very proud of, and this didn't really get many updates other than just some, formatting and making it look pretty. But this is another interconnected, interweaved system of databases for some super sick Notion wizardry. Before we get into that, calorie macro calculator, you might have noticed, if you look here, it'll say there's a status. This is a formula, and it'll read the dates here and tell you what's current, and it'll mark it as current. And then if we come back to the dashboard, that's what shows up here. So that's why there's two now, because we just created one and it falls within the date. So you shouldn't have more than one or two here. And if you do, you just need to change the dates to the correct ones. Pretty freaking cool, I think. And the reason I said that is I just saw that on the meal plan, and that's the only update to the meal plan from the previous, but we're still going to go over it. So that's why this meal plan is showing up here, is because the dates for that meal plan fall within today's date. So back to the meal planning section. Again, so how this works, the interconnectedness, that's where I was. We've got meal plans, recipes, ingredients. So meal plans encompass recipes. Recipes are made up of ingredients, and that ingredients can double as a shopping list. So let's start at the bottom. There are quite a few ingredients in here. We're gonna load even more. And they have some different properties. They got a checkbox here for, this is need to buy. So you go ahead and add the stuff that you need to buy. And I'll show you the shopping list here in just a second. And then we've got the actual ingredient name itself, the macro that it's, mostly made of. Obviously, there's going to be more stuff in it than just that. And then it also shows the recipes that it's connected to. And then there's a button here which relates to the shopping cart. You can also check out a couple of different views here. So if you just want to look at proteins, you just want to look at carbs, fats, veggies, or something like toppings, like sriracha sauces, that kind of stuff, that would be in here as well. Now here is the shopping list as well, but I also created a whole new page for it. So I might as well show you that. So the shopping list is right here. So you can kind of, you're at the store, you open up the navigation bar, you can click on the shopping list, and then as you're checking things off, you can either uncheck that button, or like I just made this button here called in cart. I just figured that would be really like, okay, cool. I just put the chicken breast in the cart, click the button, it's off my list. Just took the egg whites, put it in the cart, press the button, it's off my list. That's how my brain works. So that's the shopping list. Moving up to level 2, we have recipes. So these are all recipes. Again, you can look at it by breakfast, lunch / dinner. But let's go ahead and look at a recipe here. Smash burger tacos. So you come in here, you can select what meal it is, assign it to a meal plan, and then assign the ingredients to it. And then down here, you can go ahead and write any directions, ingredients, add a photo. And if you do add a photo, it'll show up here and look all pretty and whatnot. That's why it says directions, ingredients, photos, because that's what's in here. And this is a good example here, right? So, blueberry banana smoothie, directions, ingredients, and even a video on how to make it, right? So you'll have to add that stuff yourself. But then again, we have the ingredients over here, kind of showing that. So, and then what you can do is, again, you create your recipes, and then you can put together sort of a meal plan. So let's look at this meal plan 3. We can see up here all the recipes that correspond to it, all the ingredients that correspond to it, and they're also linked down here below as well. Sort of by breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you know what to eat. And again, how I sort of envision this working, there's a lot of different ways to be successful in your health and fitness journey. But I think if you can create a small list of meals that you enjoy, that help you reach your goals, that are easy to cook, 30 minutes or less, and are tasty enough, it doesn't have to be the most delicious thing ever, because probably not going to help you reach your goals if it is. And just curating a small list like that and having it somewhere like this, it's pretty cool. So, I think that's my TED Talk. Again, if you need to come home, you can come up here. We've got other buttons here for the palm portioning, the add biometrics. If you ever need to change anything or you're coming to anything, this is where you find all the databases under databases. Everything for the meal plans over here. Everything for the training plan and how the training thing works together is over here. Habits and standalone databases here. If you want to get 15% off Thorn products, you can do so by clicking that button. It'll bring you over to Thorn. You just make an account, and then your 15% discount will be tied to that account forever till the day you die, which is not going to be for a long time because you're going to buy Project Reset and you're going to get healthy as fuck and live to be 117. So you're going to have a Thorn discount for a long time. But that is it. That is Project Reset 2.0. I hope you can feel how excited I am about this. I've put, I don't even know how many hours I put into the first Project Reset, but I put about 30 hours into this update alone. That's not even including recording this video, editing this video, all that stuff. So if you do pick it up, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And if you do pick it up, do so now. If you're watching this in March, you can get it for $30 off in honor of my 30th birthday, bringing the price from $99 down to $69. Just a random coincidence there. And I love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things. I love making YouTube videos like this, and that's how I know I'm making good ones, is by you telling me you like it. Well, time to go eat some hot dogs. See ya.